Well, hello again everyone and welcome to another Vanners collaboration video. And this month the subject is the worst disasters you can have when you're away in your motorhome. Don't forget to watch the other videos in the collaboration. There'll be a link to the playlist at the end of this video and in the description below. Right, into our first disaster. So the first one, I think, is one of mine, and it goes way back to when I was very little, probably about young Mia's age here.
That proves how old he is.
Yeah, it was a long while ago. And I was staying with my dad in our caravan on a little CL in the Peak District, and it was basically a field of cows. And as we were asleep... Yeah, that's right. It was a bit like that. And as we were asleep in the middle of the night, the cows decided that their favourite bit of grass was right underneath the van, and they were pushing their heads underneath the caravan trying to rock it and move it out of the way of their piece of grass. So we actually had to get up in the middle of the night, hitch up the caravan and move to another CL to get away from the cows because they were moving and pushing it that much. What do you reckon to that?
I wouldn't like that if that happened to me.
No, it could be a little bit scary, couldn't it?
Yeah.
But you do tend to find now that there aren't many CLs which have livestock in the field with you. In fact, I haven't seen that for many years. But yeah, back then it was quite common.
Yeah.
So the next little disaster we've had, I think you were with us for this one, weren't you? We went to Houghton Mill, the National Trust site at Houghton Mill, and it was quite wet, and the site is all grass pitches, isn't it? It was pretty muddy. Yeah. And I think you actually said to me it looked a bit too muddy to go on the pitch I was trying to get on, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I sort of got half on it, and then just the front wheels just spun, and no matter what I did...
We just got stuck.
Yeah, we had to be towed off it, didn't we, by the warden and go on to another pitch. That's the one time that I've ever got irretrievably stuck and had to be towed off. But motorhomes are generally front-wheel drive and quite heavy, so on the wet grass and mud you can get stuck, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we did spatter the van quite well with mud, didn't we, trying to get out?
Yeah.
Yes, so that was a little disaster, wasn't it?
Very muddy.
Now, our next little disaster is one that you caused, wasn't it?
Yes.
What did you do?
So I went to the toilet for a poo and I just blocked the toilet.
Yeah, it was rather spectacular, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you had to go outside and get a stick and shove it down, didn't you?
Yeah, I think it was bigger than you, wasn't it?
No.
I'm not, it's some sort of miracle. Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen anything quite so. I think it had teeth and claws as well, didn't it? Yeah, so I had to fight it down with a stick.
Yeah, you went outside. I think this was like in the morning or in the evening. You went outside, you had to get a stick and just go with the toilet.
Yeah. I think occasionally you do get this problem with motorhome toilets. They do have a fairly small aperture into the tank. So
yeah, they're about that big. That's it.
Yes, but then, you know, it should be enough, you would have thought, wouldn't you? But no, it wasn't, was it? No, so that was a minor disaster, but easily resolved with the use of a good poking stick.
Yeah.
Now, one little disaster we had a while ago was I tried to book the camping and caravanning club site at Hayfield for a long weekend. And while we were on the way up there, or in fact, actually, I think it was the previous weekend, we were going somewhere else, they rang up to ask where we were. So I'd clearly booked it for the wrong weekend. So I managed to change the booking to the following weekend. But then when we got there that weekend, they said, when I went to book in, they said I booked a tent pitch. So it wasn't big enough to put the motorhome. I just apparently booked a backpacking tent pitch. So not only had I booked the wrong pitch, but I'd booked it on the wrong weekend. Well, fortunately, they did manage to get round it, and we ended up on one of the warden's pitches because one of the wardens wasn't there. But yeah, that is something to be very careful of. Make sure you book the right sort of pitch and
And the
on
right weekend.
Yes, and the right weekend that you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's very easy to get wrong, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
Because that happened to you.
So our final minor disaster was with just myself and Nikki. Actually, you weren't there, were you? We were up in Scotland, and the starter motor was failing on the van. I could only get it to start with a lot of tinkering and fiddling about. But that one was solved really with the help of Coastal Motorhomes. I contacted them and they were able to ship a new starter motor next day to the site, and fortunately I was able to fit it on site. We did have to go to Halfords, did have to get the van started one last time to drive to a Halfords, which was probably a good 20-30 miles away.
Wow.
To get an essential tool.
So is it about an hour away?
Yeah, at least, yeah. About an hour there and an hour back.
Wow,
And,
so about 2 hours altogether then.
That's right, and I didn't turn the motorhome off when I went into Halfords. Nikki stayed in the van, and I went into Halfords to get the tools. I didn't want to risk turning it off and not be able to start it again. And then we went back to the campsite, and I was able to change the starter motor, and all was well.
Good.
But yeah, mechanical breakdowns can leave you a bit unstuck.
Yeah.
Especially in an older van, so always good to have a good supply of tools on board and maybe a few spares as well. I do carry a few belts and things, but don't really carry a spare starter motor around with me. But we were able to get round that one on that occasion.
And you took some pictures in Scotland, didn't you, when you were there?
Yeah, I took loads of nice pictures and video. Yeah.
And Nanny's painting one right now.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
We blew up a big picture of Castle Stalker and we've got it in our dining room. And
Yeah.
Nikki's having a go at painting it with her watercolours, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good holiday. You'll have to come with us next time.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. So there you go. There's a little selection of the minor disasters that can happen to you when you're out and about in your motorhome or caravan. Fortunately, we got over all of them without any massive difficulties. Don't forget to watch the rest of the videos in the playlist, and we will see you again soon in a future video.